Hey all, Hibber here. So, yet another Minotaur video. I know what you're thinking, but this one is different because this video is all about how Minotaur actually has been performing over the last 3 months. Very similar to the video I did on Colbert, except I have done even more battles in Minotaur here. And this all came about just actually in December, before Minotaur was released, and I was just, like, talking on Discord with other people of what builds would be good. And some people said smoke, others AP, and even agile builds. And of course, I had a bit of a challenge on Discord, so I thought if you manage to make Agile Minnow viable, I will be quite impressed. So I have to say here, to be fair, that in the beginning I didn't think this was possible either. I mean, I was thinking no way. I mean, Minotaur is too squishy to be a good agile cruiser, so I pretty much dismissed the ship as an agile build even before I tried it, basically, because I looked on PC and I thought, nah, it's never gonna work. But then of course the ship actually was released, and I was able to put an agile build on it along with other builds. But let's just first have a look at the agile build here, what it actually is. And I have Tenant here. I have the Mordorf guys on, but it is Tenant, trust me. And then Ingenious, full speed ahead, Velocious, steer clear, and fully packed. So a super standard agile build with a sure lane Baltimore for extra rudder and a Soundwave for even more rudder. And a double rudder on the ship, of course. 3 heals and 3 of everything. And then I noticed the maneuverability was actually quite good. 2.3 second rudder and 38 knots and about 650 meter turning radius, which is quite good actually. So in the beginning, I've tried lots of weird builds on the ship here. I tried the 8-minute smoke build, I tried pure AP builds, and I was experimenting with the ship. I was, taking it into situations it really shouldn't be in. And I was testing everything basically, because really the only way you can test in this game is to do it while you're playing. So I did my first stats download in early January to see how I was doing, and in there I actually also had my Minotaur stats, but I wasn't really that interested then because I wasn't really trying hard to make it work. I was just experimenting. So you can see here I did 84 battles and with a 57% win rate, so that's okay, but nothing, spectacular. So I decided when I got these stats, I thought, okay, and by that point I had already kind of figured out that this ship actually works with an agile build, and I had actually been playing the last probably 10 to 12 battles with an agile build only. So I thought, I have played 84 battles, I will play 100 battles more, and then I will see what the stats look like. And very important here, I will play those battles exclusively with an agile radar build on my Minotaur. And also just note here, I haven't played any division battles at all. I've only played solo standard battles in the ship. I haven't even played AI. So it's taken me just a little bit over 2 months to do 100 battles in this ship here. I've been trying to spread it out as much as I can, play at different times a day, different weekdays, and not just, knock off 30 battles in one weekend or something like that, because that's not gonna be, it's just gonna skew the results I was a little bit scared of. Of course, you cannot guard yourself completely against that, but you can try, and I tried a bit. So that's why it's taken me 2 months, because if I really wanted to do 100 battles in the ship, I could do it in a weekend. But as I said, that's not the point here. So, like I said, it's taken me just over 2 months, and I requested my new stats yesterday, because I know I have played exactly 100 battles in this ship here. And Wargaming, well, the gods of Wargaming were very friendly, and they gave me my stats download today already. Not even 24 hours later. So if you're a regular viewer, you know I love to do these little stat things here, where I look into how a ship is actually doing in, you know, the most sciencey way I can think of. And as you can see here, if we look at my overall standard results, they have gone up from 57% overall to 65% win rate overall. And if you look at my solo results here, that's type 3, by the way, then again the win rate has gone up from 57 to 64. And type 4 is a 2-player division, type 5 is 3-player division. And they're about the same, about 75, 76%, something along those lines. So definitely an improvement there. From 57 to 65, that's from good to very, very good. I think 65% is probably the highest you can, like, you know, pretty much expect a solo player to come up with in a ship. And I'm saying it's difficult. I think this is probably the only ship that actually makes it, probably along with Colbert actually, and perhaps a few others. I think Edinburgh is close as well, but anyway, that's not the point here. The point is that putting an Agile build on this ship has improved my win rate by, what is that, 8%.
I need intelligence data.
But if you remember, the point of this exercise wasn't to see how high I could get my win rate. The point was to see how well I could do in 100 battles playing this ship only with an Agile radar build. And to figure that out, of course, we have to subtract the original 84 battles from what we have here. So you can see I have 184 in total now, and subtracting 84 from that is, big surprise, 100 battles. Exactly the 100 battles I said I would play. And to get your win rate up from 57 to 65 obviously means that those 100 battles will have to have a higher win rate than 65. And that's actually quite easy to figure out, because you just subtract your wins as well. And if you look back at the other stat Excel I had up, then I had 48 wins. So you just subtract 48 from 120, and then you calculate the percentage, and it's actually surprisingly good. In those 100 battles, I managed a 72% mixed win rate, and mixed means solo and division together. If we just look at my solo results, the win rate would be 71%, meaning I won 71 out of the 100 battles. Very easy math here actually. And my division results were 76%. I only played 13, 14 division games or something like that, so not a lot. I wanted to keep that pretty low. But as you can see here, an Agile Minotaur, or Agile cruisers in general, well, definitely viable. I mean, this is a much better win rate than I actually thought I would get away with. And I know, 100 battles is not statistically sound, and I usually say you need 200 battles to really be sure. But I do have 184 in all in this ship here, so I think it's close enough. And I just didn't want to wait another 100 battles, honestly. So these results here really just underline the fact that I've been saying for a while, that British cruisers are born to be Agile cruisers. Most of them anyway, and that includes Exeter, it includes Edinburgh, it includes Albemarle, it includes Minotaur, and I'm probably forgetting some, but those are the main ones. And definitely Minotaur is the one that actually does the best. Now, of course, I have way more battles in Edinburgh. I think I have nearly 1,000 battles in Edinburgh, and I think about half of those are with an Agile build exclusively, because I found out the same thing I found out with Minotaur, that it works really well on that ship. And like I said, Edinburgh has a really good solo win rate as well. I think 62%, something in the low 60s. So yes, Agile builds work extremely well on these British cruisers here. Of course, it works well on other cruisers as well, but they seem to work extremely well on these guys here. And I'm kind of thinking it's because of the combination of radar and torpedoes. It's just a very nice mix that allows you to get in and out of pretty much any situation you can think of. So if I had to choose the best nation to play cruisers, I would probably say the British, at least for the moment. I might change my mind when Colbert comes out, but probably not, because as much as I like Colbert, it doesn't have torpedoes and it doesn't have radar. And really, the whole point of popping an Agile build on Minotaur is for you to force your way into the middle of the map, get into a good spot, and then pop your radar and remove the enemy's destroyers quickly and easily at the beginning of the battle. That's the whole point. If you get out again alive, that's not really that much of the point. The point is to dispose of destroyers. And also here, don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that a smoke build or an AP build or, I mean, whatever build you can think of on this ship doesn't work. All I'm saying is that an Agile build definitely works. I mean, there's no arguing with these numbers here. And I know that our good, Studley, Do-Right, Chat, CC, Chili Games managed to get an astounding, actually very impressive 76% solo win rate in his Minotaur. And I'm pretty sure that he almost exclusively runs a smoke build. So obviously he's doing better, and I mean, I wouldn't expect anything otherwise, because Chili is probably, if not the best player in the game, then at least one of the very, very best ones. And as I said, the point of this video is not to say that Agile build is the best. The point is just to say that, yeah, you can get away with it, and not only can you get away with it, you can do really, really well with an Agile build. And of course, that's not just the case with Minotaur. Like I said, most British cruisers do well with Agile builds, and most American cruisers, and most Japanese, and most French. Russians, not so much. There are a few exceptions to the rule. But anyway, that was pretty much the gist of this video here. And I will say that I myself found, myself to be a little bit surprised of how well Minotaur actually does with an Agile build. Because I remember putting an Agile build on Fiji, the tier 6 British cruiser, and I absolutely hated it. I hated it. I thought it was terrible. It's probably one of the worst ships you could put an Agile build on, actually. So keep that in mind. But then on the other hand, Exeter, the tier below, and Edinburgh, the tier above, they work wonders with Agile builds. And of course, the same with Minotaur. Actually, Minotaur is the best. So I don't know what you guys thought when you heard Minotaur was coming to the game, but like I said in the beginning of the video, I had my doubts that it was going to be a good Agile cruiser, because I was expecting it to be probably an even worse Fiji. So I was definitely not expecting to play this ship as much as I do, because this is probably my favorite ship now. Well, it is my favorite ship. And I certainly didn't expect to do as well with an Agile build as it does. It's quite surprising, actually. But then when you think about it, I mean, situations like this is what the ship is built for, like getting into the middle of the map, snaking your way through tight channels, and torping those who gets close, and sniffing out destroyers with your radar, and if you can, set up ambushes before you pop your radar, so you're able to dispose of destroyers immediately as soon as you hit that radar button. And you can do this in other ways. Obviously, you can put a full concealment build on the Minotaur, and that way you can get into the same position without getting spotted. But the problem is you can't really shoot on your way in, because you don't have the agility to dodge. And that's why I like the Agile builds, because if you get an opportunity to fire without even being in position yourself, you can fire, it's fine. You will survive the first few salvos, that's for sure. And by then, you should be in some sort of cover, at least if you know what you're doing, that is. So if you have your doubts about Agile builds and you think that probably won't do well with them, I mean, I keep saying this, I do think people should at least try Agile builds at least once. And I mean, I know you need to invest a bit into a commander to make a viable Agile build, and you need some premium commanders to make it even better. But really, I think it's definitely worth it because it gives you a whole new play style in this game here. And I mean, this game here can get a little like dry once in a while, let's put it like that. And having the ability to take out an Agile cruiser just, well, breathes a whole new world of life into this game, in my opinion. It does for me anyway. So these were my thoughts. I hope it helped you out a bit. At least it did for me. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.